noton nemiten tuyet noton neo nebo Africa Forward Summit nekiyoe en kotab tuyosiek noton nebo KICC en Nairobi. Bwat limiten presidents chebo emotinwekab sang koboto president noton nebo emetab France komoi kusikong noton ngikusikong kabatisiet mising en county noton nebo Nakuru. Kakoito serikalitab county nebo Nakuru mbolea koityi kabatik oret agenge nebo kanapta kabatisiet en county noton. Kamwa ofisayat noton tinye ngalekab kabatisiet en county nebo Nakuru kole kakwautiet nebo serikalitab county noton kobeljingei kimuch keker imuch konyor rut chemiten barak kabatik en kenyiniton.
Ololi en komosto nebo Langwenda nemiten wardit nebo Nyota en kot nekingoten ngatutik nebo Kuresoi North en kasarta nekotoche guniok 100 chebo katoldoleiwek anan mbolea, komwa minister netonondochin kabatisiet en serikalitab county nebo Nakuru Leonard Bor kole ako inguni kotindo chagoisiek 18 cheboisien koyapta mbolea ole kates komwa kole boisie kora serikali ak kibagengeisiek anan cooperatives koker kole kaikapta katoldoleiwek choton koityi kabatik.
Kwamba kama county tumeweza kufikishia wakulima fertilizer ndio waweze kuendelea, tukizingatia kwamba hii ni wakati wa upanzi, kwamba tuko na mvua mingi na ile mambo muhimu ni kuhakikisha kwamba katika hii mpangilio ya serikali ya kuhakikisha kwamba wakulima wamepata ile subsidized fertilizer. Kama county tumeweza kufungua zile satellite stores, tukizingatia kwamba katika jimbo la Nakuru tuko na zile NCPPs stores 6. Hiyo ni upande wa Naivasha, upande wa Solai, upande wa Subukia, upande wa Nakuru Town, Elbagon na vile vile upande wa Ulenguruoni. Kama county kupitia kwa uongozi wa gavana wetu Her Excellency Governor Susan Kihika ni kwamba tumeweza kufungua stores. Sasa tumeweza kufikisha 17 katika sehemu mbalimbali kwa zile sub counties 11 ambazo tuko nazo, hii ikiwa mojawapo. Hii ni kuhakikisha kwamba wakulima wasikue wanateseka kwenda mbali.
Kaimuch kobor boiboiyet alak en kabatik chekamwa kole bendi konyoru ichek katoldoleiwek en nyumnyumindo en nguni asi koistoengei kaimutik chebo loindo nebendi en kasarta agetugul kochengoti katoldoleiwek choton kikon serikali en oliet nekakichuchuch.
Ikiwa hapa karibu na wakulima watakuwa wamepunguziwa ile karama ambao wangeiendea pale mbali na watafikia kwa njia nzuri, itakuwa most accessible kwao.
Hata ukiangalia katika sehemu hii ama katika upanzi wa mwaka huu, wakulima wachapata nafasi ya kuumia kwa kutembea kupika foleni kubwa sehemu hizo ambazo nimesema, na nataka kuhimiza kwamba hasa baada ya kuletewa mbolea upanzi, pia naimiza uongozi mzima wa agriculture katika Nakuru ya kwamba watuletea pia top dressing ili wakulima wakafanya hiyo kazi na hakika tutapata mazao.
Kongeten county nebo Nakuru, logoiwekab emet chebo Kass, kainenyun ko Sylvester Rono.
Permit me to invite the Honorable Joyce Atieno Bensuda.
Yekiistoengei noton kokaimuch konde siyet en betutab raini saisiekab karon President Dr. William Samoei Ruto bilit noton nebo Income Bill koboto noton nebo Special Economic Zones Amendment Bill ak noton nebo Technopolis Bills en kotab boror. Ngekusyin kong'ala noton katestai en saisiekab karon nekangondo siyet bill choton ak kamanutienywan.
The present, honored guests, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, good morning and welcome to the 7th Presidential Assent Ceremony of the year 2026. Your Excellency, sir, this state ceremony is convened pursuant to Article 115 of the Constitution for the presidential assent of the 3 parliamentary bills. The first bill that will be transmitted for assent is the Income Tax Amendment Bill, National Assembly Bill number 20 of 2026. The bill seeks to rationalize the administration of capital gains tax in order to align the tax regime with international best practices and recognized principles of taxation, while reinforcing the gains made in advancing the ease of doing business in Kenya. The second bill lined up for Your Excellency's presidential assent is the Special Economic Zones Amendment Bill, National Assembly Bill number 8 of 2026. The bill seeks to enhance the nation's competitiveness by expanding the scope of special economic zones to include oil and gas zones and to harmonize the tax incentives applicable to entities undertaking activities within such zones. In addition, the bill further fortifies the special economic zones framework with the operational realities of large-scale capital investments through the provision of a minimum license tenure of 10 years, subject to annual compliance audits, thereby accommodating the long project cycles and substantial capital commitments characteristic of petroleum operations. To crown this ceremony, Your Excellency will be presented with the Technopolis Bill, National Assembly Bill number 6 of 2024. The principal object of the bill is to establish a comprehensive legal framework for the creation, development, and governance of technopolis in Kenya. Through this legislative framework, the bill seeks to position Kenya as a leading destination for technology-driven enterprise and innovation by establishing integrated one-stop hubs for the efficient delivery of government services, thereby fostering a modern and enabling environment capable of attracting global investment, talent, and innovation. Your Excellency, sir, with both houses of Parliament having discharged their law-making mandate in enacting these 3 pieces of legislation, it is now my most humble duty to petition Your Excellency, as Head of State and Government, to exercise the authority conferred upon you under Article 115 of the Constitution and assent these bills into law. Your Excellency, sir, with your kind permission, I now invite the Clerk of the National Assembly to present the vellum copies of the bills for your consideration and assent.
Your Excellency, I am under the instructions of the Speaker of the National Assembly to place before you.
Good morning.
Good morning, Your Excellency. Under instructions to place before you these 3 vellums, Your Excellency, being the 11th day of May, the year 2026. The first one, Your Excellency, is a bill that was introduced by the distinguished member for Molo, the Honorable Kimani Kuria, called the Income Tax Amendment Bill. The bill proposes to amend the income tax law to facilitate companies internal reorganization. It's one of the bills for purposes of ease of administration of tax and ease of doing business in the Republic of Kenya. It's a small bill, Your Excellency, only 3 clauses. The commencement of upon publication in the Gazette. The committee undertook extensive public participation. There was a departmental committee on finance by the member for Molo and the county woman rep for Mandera in today's session. And the committee and the House amended the bill. Your Excellency, the second bill is a Special Economic Zones Amendment Bill of the year 2026. It will be recalled, Your Excellency, that towards the end of last year, we received as Parliament a sessional paper facilitating the exploration of oil in South Rokicha. That sessional paper, Your Excellency, was adopted by both houses after extensive Your Excellency, when the two houses of Parliament were adopting that sessional paper, there was a resolution that for the sessional paper and the implementation of the decision of the House to have business sense, there are certain laws that needs to be amended so as to attract investors at the Rokicha Basin, particularly in Block T6 and T7. In that regard, Your Excellency, the party introduced the Special Economic Zones Amendment Bill 2026, proposing to amend the SEZ Act as we know it, the Income Tax Act, the Miscellaneous Fees and Levies Act. The idea, Your Excellency, is to give certain in the upstream exploration of oil, but those who also pipeline. Your Excellency, public participation, a relevant ministry, that's the Minister of Trade, together with the Minister of Energy, petitioned Parliament the licensing of our SEZs goes beyond the ordinary period of 1 year. They indicated that 1 year for any and which is contained in this bill, that SEZs have a 10-year license, but they'll be paying fees annually. After a certain fair hearing as required under the Constitution. The idea retains ability to attract investments, particularly in our SEZ zones, Your Excellency, not just for oil and gas exploration, but also for agriculture sector and for manufacturing center, Your Excellency. Upon publication, Your Excellency, the last bill is a bill introduced by the leader of the majority party in April 2024. It's Development Authority Bill, Your Excellency. It has taken so long, Your Excellency, because it has the full bicameral process being passed by the two houses. It was initially passed by the National Assembly in December 2024, sent to the Senate. The Senate also engaged in public participation. They made amendments to it. The amendments came back to the National Assembly in November last year, and the National Assembly accepted all amendments. Does a number of things. One of them is to revoke the legal notice number 23 of the year 2012, which created the Konza Technopolis, and therefore Konza is now going to be established in law. Legal notices, Your Excellency, as they have their own limitations, it has been the decision of the Cabinet to re-establish some of these state corporations under statutes. Your Excellency, the idea is to place what is to Konza Technopolis in a better place for purposes of attracting investments.
Over 1,900 games brought us here, but history doesn't care about the journey.
The Premier League is the best league in the world.
La Liga is far and beyond the biggest winner.
It only remembers how it ends.
You bought it.
8 titles. 1 month of mayhem to decide them all. Stay connected and watch DSTV to catch the football season finale this May. It's on.
Kimitei akobo inye ako kimita sikinetkei kibaibaitkei ak kinoisechigei tuguk cheterter chetesetai eng emetab Kenya ak emotinwek chebo sang. Inyorwech eng DSTV channel 266, Zuku channel 19, GoTV channel 099, Star Times channel 164, Pang eng free to air, Bamba free to air, Azam channel 336 koboto online streaming eng www.kasstv.co.ke.
Kotitinye ng'oliot age tugul kotinygei ak tetutikchok, sirwech sirutiet en oretab email konyo info@kassfm.co.ke anan ko SMS en namba 55552 anan ko 30552 ak imwawech kit neichome ak nemechome.
Kass TV, kimnotet
Posten na Twitter, Insta ak inde Facebook. Kona ingwenduni kole impo wangu.
Tetutietab nenetesetai extra ko tetutiet nekibun mixed moto played by one and only our baddest DJ Redmond.
Ole Serem.
Watu kora kole eng kasarta age ketoche influencers, tiktokers, social media influencers ak cheke tugul nekose kotindoi talent ako meche kobartage eng mashabik.
It become red flag. We were green flag and it did not help us with anything. Can we just
Ongetuye eng kila Jumamos eng nenetesetai extra omitaganendet Jacqueline Arusei akiwatile mix anan chenwagik ko moto chebutun one and only our baddest DJ. Get to you every Saturday in Kass TV.
Kama invite yangu haikufika on time, but I'm glad to be here anyway.
She was my rival, my competitor. We need to shut this business down.
Hii biashara ndo kila kitu kwenye hii familia, nikufe ama nisikufe.
kama mbaya?
We ni mnoma sana.
One truth can break everything.
Sit tight.
Tachin kora chitab Kalenjin eng ketesiet noton nebo Kass TV, Kass Mashinani. En nguni komiten President Dr. William Ruto en koita noton nebo tekset ak kabaraitet noton nebo ofis cheechen chebo ngaitab UN en komosta nebo Kigiri. Ngenyoru ngal noton.
Your Excellencies, distinguished delegates, ladies and gentlemen, we are gathered here for this monumental occasion, and I wish to briefly reflect on the historical journey and evolution of the United Nations office at Nairobi, whose growth and success continue to symbolize Kenya's enduring commitment to multilateralism and international cooperation. Following independence in 1963, Kenya immediately joined the United Nations, affirming its confidence in the community of nations and the principles of multilateralism. 9 years later, despite being a young nation, Kenya successfully bid to host the headquarters of the United Nations Environmental Program, UNEP. Upon its establishment, UNEP initially operated from the Kenyatta International Conference Center before relocating to its current home in Gigiri in 1975. In 1978, UNEP was joined by the United Nations Center for Human Settlements, now known as UN Habitat. Together, these institutions created a vibrant multilateral ecosystem, and today, more than 70 UN agencies, funds, and programs operate from Nairobi. Kenya is proud and privileged to host these important institutions here in Nairobi, whose presence reflects the confidence that the international community continues to place in our country and our people. Allow me, Mr. Secretary General, to acknowledge your able leadership and steadfast support towards the continued growth and strengthening of the United Nations presence in Nairobi. Kenya deeply appreciates the deliberate efforts undertaken under your tenure to modernize and upgrade this campus to be at par with other UN duty stations in New York, Geneva, and Vienna. Kenya remains committed to working closely with all member states and the leadership of the United Nations to ensure that the UN system becomes more efficient, effective, responsive, and impactful in improving the lives of all people, especially the most vulnerable populations. I thank you.
Thank you, Your Excellency. It is now my distinct honor to invite the Secretary General of the United Nations, Mr. Antonio Guterres, to deliver his remarks. Welcome, Secretary General.
Your Excellency and dear friend, President William Samuel Ruto of the Republic of Kenya, Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen. It's a great pleasure to mark these 2 milestones in the United Nations presence in Africa and our shared journey toward a more inclusive and forward-looking multilateralism. The groundbreaking ceremony for the new Assembly Hall and the inauguration of new office buildings are symbols of our collective ambition, and the reaffirmation of the central role that Africa, and Kenya in particular, play in the life and future of the United Nations. Nairobi is neither a satellite nor an outpost. It is a pillar, the only United Nations headquarters in Africa and in the Global South. From its beginning in the 70s as the home of UNEP and UN Habitat, this campus, generously donated by the government of Kenya, has grown into a dynamic hub of multilateral action. Nairobi is a place where global challenges meet regional solutions, where innovation is born, and where the future of multilateralism is being shaped every day. This is a powerful demonstration of what the United Nations can achieve when we are focused, efficient, and united in purpose. Thanks to exemplary cooperation across agencies, UNHCR, UNICEF, UNFPA, and UN Women have moved staff into the heart of the UN family at Gihiri. What has been achieved here is not just buildings, it's a blueprint for the future. The new offices are UN's first net zero building powered year-round by on-site solar. The expanded conference facilities will add further solar installations, bringing the complex to energy neutrality by 2029. The dry upland forest is also returning to Gigiri. Nearly 3,000 indigenous trees have already been planted alongside the office buildings, and another 3,000 will follow as the conference complex rises. And every building is designed with universal accessibility at its core. Today, we also look ahead. In just 2 years, this ground will host world leaders confronting the most pressing issues of our time. They will gather in a new amphitheater carved into African soil and surrounded by the Kenyan forest. It will anchor a modern conference complex with capacity for 9,000 people, welcoming delegates, civil society, and the public. And all of this comes at a time of transformation for our organization. As we mark the 80th anniversary of the United Nations, we are reimagining how we work, how we deliver, how we lead. And we do so recognizing the role of this great continent. Africa is a driver of solutions, a source of innovation, and a voice of moral clarity in our shared pursuit of peace and security, sustainable development, and human rights. Across the continent, we see talent, dynamism, and determination. Countries and communities advancing clean energy, digital innovation, peace building, and economic transformation. But this potential is being held back by global obstacles that Africa did not create, from unjust borrowing costs and crushing debt burdens to a deeply unequal international system that reflects last century's power relations. True solidarity with Africa means helping remove those obstacles. It means reforming the institutions of global governance so African countries have the representation, the voice, and the decision-making power they deserve, including in the Security Council and the international financial institutions. And it means easing debt burdens, lowering the cost of capital, and mobilizing far greater investment and market access in support of Africa's sustainable development. This is also why the expansion of UNON and the growing presence of UN entities here in Nairobi matters so much. It reflects our commitment to bringing the United Nations closer to the people and regions it serves. Excellencies, dear friends, today we are opening a new chapter, a chapter of deeper collaboration and greater ambition, a stronger partnership between the United Nations and the people of Africa. And I want to express my deep gratitude to the government and people of Kenya. Thank you for your unwavering support and generosity. To all the women and men who have made these projects possible, thank you for your perseverance. And to all colleagues who call Nairobi home, thank you for your dedication and commitment. May these new spaces inspire bold ideas, ensuring partnerships and lasting impact. Asante sana, thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Secretary General, for your remarks. I now invite His Excellency, Dr. William Samoei Ruto, President of the Republic of Kenya, to deliver his remarks. Welcome, Your Excellency.
Your Excellency, United Nations Secretary General Antonio Guterres, I know you once told me that I should not refer you to it with titles. Deputy UN Secretary General Amina Mohammed, Excellencies, distinguished delegates, ladies and gentlemen, I warmly welcome you, and especially my good friend, Secretary General and his deputy, and I'm told they rarely travel out together except on very consequential functions like this one. Your presence underscores our shared commitment to strengthening multilateralism and ensuring the UN remains effective, responsive, and fit for purpose in addressing the challenges of our time. 51 years ago, this site was little more than a coffee plantation on the outskirts of the capital city of Nairobi. Today, through visionary leadership and Kenya's commitment to multilateralism and international cooperation, it has evolved into the largest UN headquarters by acreage anywhere in the world. Yes, I said anywhere in the world. As the only UN headquarters in the global south, Nairobi stands as a powerful symbol that the United Nations truly belongs to all the peoples of the world and reflects the shared aspirations of humanity. We are proud and privileged to host more than 70 UN agencies, funds, and programs, alongside a vibrant community of 6,000 plus staff who serve from Nairobi today. As these presence continue to grow, Kenya remains firmly committed to ensuring that the United Nations office at Nairobi is fully equipped to deliver effective, responsive, and impactful service to the people and the communities who need it most. Today's groundbreaking ceremony marks a historic milestone for Kenya, for the United Nations, and indeed for the entire global South, as well as for the future of multilateral cooperation across the world. The launch of the United Nations Conference Facilities Project reaffirms Kenya's steadfast commitment to international diplomacy, sustainable development, and the shared values that continue to unite member states in pursuit of a more peaceful, inclusive, and prosperous world. The approval by the UN General Assembly of the Conference Facilities Project demonstrates the collective resolve of member states to strengthen the UN office in Nairobi. This transformative project will modernize critical infrastructure, address the long-standing deterioration of existing facilities, optimize space utilization, and ensure full compliance with international health, safety, and accessibility standards. This will enhance Nairobi's capacity and be consistent with its status alongside other UN headquarters to effectively serve as a premier global hub for multilateral diplomacy and international cooperation. Kenya provides favorable enabling conditions, a supportive legal environment, and is among the most cost-effective jurisdictions across all UN headquarters globally. The government of Kenya shall continue working closely with the United Nations and with you, Mr. Secretary General, to strengthen and transform Nairobi as a premier diplomatic, multilateral, and humanitarian hub, as well as a global center for dialogue on peace and security, environmental diplomacy, and international development cooperation. This is particularly important at a time when multilateralism is under considerable strain from geopolitical fragmentation, growing mistrust, fiscal pressures, and widening global inequalities. In this context, the United Nations office at Nairobi stands as a powerful expression of inclusivity, geographical balance, and the universality of the UN system. These challenges to multilateralism place renewed emphasis on the need to deliver mandates efficiently while preserving the core values of the organization and upholding a balanced and integrated approach to the three pillars of the United Nations Charter: development, human rights, and peace and security. All three pillars are interlinked and require predictable, adequate, responsive financing and effective institutional support. I acknowledge that the replacement of the original 10 office blocks is set to deliver modern, safe, accessible, and environmentally sustainable facilities. The already completed phases are an impressive combination of improved accessibility for persons with disability, efficient space utilization, environmental preservation, and generation of clean energy, taking full advantage of our sobriquet as the green city under the sun. Mr. Secretary General, as a host country, Kenya remains committed and assures you of support for the United Nations through a whole-of-government approach, including what we are investing close to $1.1 billion of domestic resources in expanding infrastructure, utilities, ICT systems, security arrangements, and the operationalization of the UN one-stop shop. As I mentioned to you earlier, Mr. Secretary General, we are investing our own resources. Just 2 months ago, I did unveil a plan to enhance the motorability and mobility around Nairobi. We are going to spend close to $700 million to extend the road network around Nairobi. About 267 kilometers of new tarmac is going to be expanded in the city of Nairobi. We are going to invest also in the cleanup of the city of Nairobi, of lighting in the city of Nairobi, adding additional water resources into the city of Nairobi. And for the first time, beginning July this year, we will have a metropolitan police in Nairobi to ensure that there is adequate security in the city of Nairobi. I will also want to let you know that working with partners, and I want to thank UNEP for their partnership, we are also investing in the Nairobi River regeneration, and we are spending close to $400 million to clean up the city of Nairobi, to make it motorable, and to eliminate sewage that has been a big menace in that river, and modernizing the whole corridor of almost 50 kilometers. Mr. Secretary General, we are not doing this for the UN. We are doing this for the city of Nairobi and its residents. And among its residents is the UN staff here. And I want to thank the invaluable support of the UN fraternity in making sure that this city becomes livable and this city works for all its residents. Today's groundbreaking reaffirms our collective faith in multilateralism and in the enduring mission of the United Nations. Kenya stands steadfast with the international community in advancing peace, sustainable development, human dignity, and shared prosperity for all nations and all peoples. Mr. Secretary General, again, it's my pleasure on behalf of the government and people of Kenya, and on my own behalf, to welcome you again to Nairobi and to thank you for your friendship and your leadership, without which we wouldn't be doing this groundbreaking ceremony. We want to thank you in a very special way for your leadership, for all the things that you have done to make sure that this facility here that is going to make Nairobi a hub of conferencing. I also want to tell you, Mr. Secretary General, in support and to complement what the UN family is doing here, expanding conference facility, the government of Kenya is also building a conference facility to complement what you are building here in Bomas of Kenya, which will be ready in the coming months, maybe by September this year. So as you do what you're doing at the UN headquarters here in Nairobi, we will be complementing your efforts, as I said, in deploying our own resources to make sure that the residents of this city and the UN family living with us in this city will have a good experience living and working out of Nairobi. We are in the process of working on our Privileges and Immunities Act to also provide opportunity for families and staff who work out of Nairobi, if they consider retiring in Nairobi. We're trying to extend facilities, and the law will provide incentives for you to retire in this great city of Nairobi. And that will be extended to you, Mr. Secretary General, just in case. Just in case you consider retiring in this city of Nairobi, because we have a great relationship with the UN family, UN staff who work out of here. They have become part and parcel of the Kenyan family, and we want to make sure that they can enjoy the city of Nairobi and enjoy Kenya beyond their working experience here. We look forward to deepening our partnership with the United Nations at Nairobi as Nairobi continues to grow as a center of global diplomacy and a symbol of international cooperation for generations ahead. Thank you very much, and enjoy your stay in Nairobi. Asante sana.
Thank you, Your Excellency, President Ruto, for your remarks. Excellencies and distinguished guests, we now come to the highlight of today's ceremony, the groundbreaking for the UNON New Assembly Hall and Conference Facilities Project. I kindly invite the following 10 to come forward for the ceremonial turning of the soil. Ms. Anna Claudia Rosbach, UN Undersecretary General and Executive Director for the UN Human Settlements Program, UN Habitat. Ms. Inga Anderson, UN Undersecretary General and Executive Director, UN Environment Program, UNEP. Mrs. Zainab Hao Bangura, UN Undersecretary General and Director General of UNON. His Excellency, Mr. William MacDonald, Permanent Representative of Barbados to the United Nations in Kenya and Chair of the Advisory Board of the Conference Facilities Project. Her Excellency, Dr. Aida Odinga, Permanent Representative of the Republic of Kenya to UNON and UNEP. Dr. Chris Kipto, Principal Secretary, the National Treasury. His Excellency, Dr. Musalia Mudavadi, Prime Cabinet Secretary and Cabinet Secretary for Foreign and Diaspora Affairs, Government of Kenya. Ms. Amina Mohammed, Deputy Secretary General of the United Nations. I would now like to invite Mr. Antonio Guterres, the Secretary General of the United Nations, and His Excellency Dr. William Samoei Ruto, President of the Republic of Kenya, to come forward. I also invite members of the media, yes, to come forward, thank you, to the designated media area for the official photo opportunity. These shovels have been specially made with wood harvested from a tree in the compound, so it's been recycled. And I would now invite you all to use the shovels to turn the top of the soil for this historic occasion. Another round of applause. I will now invite His Excellency the President and the Secretary of the United Nations to share a few words with the media right there, after which they and their delegations and the media will depart to the second part of our program. I request that the rest of our distinguished guests remain seated, and I'll provide more information on the next segment of the program. Thank you. Over there.
Kama invite yangu haikufika on time, but I'm glad to be here anyway.
She was my rival, my competitor. We need to shut this business down.
Hii biashara ndo kila kitu kwenye hii familia, nikufe ama nisikufe.
Kama mbaya, mbaya.
We ni mnoma sana.
One truth can break everything.
Sit tight.
Atachin kora chitab kolenjin eng ketesiet noton nebo Kass TV Kass Mashinani amugetokyinkei en nguni county nebo Uasin Gishu ole indochin rubeiwotab governor nebo Uasin Gishu Evans Kitkea igorta nebo International Nurses and Midwives Week nekiyoe en county noton ole miten eng kibagenge ak konyoik chebo sipitali cheterterchin.
There is a new virus which has emerged. What is it called? Antivirus. And I was like, I have never had this one in my life. So medicine is dynamic. Things keep changing. So please also keep training and updating yourself. We are willing to work with you. We will encourage our members of the county assembly to allocate resources so that you have some little resources for your development and your further training. We have this facility coming up in Uasin Gishu, the National Referral Hospital, and I know that it is a referral specialty hospital. I am very sure that we will be having some of you work with the national government through that route, but please make sure that you continue with your training. And beginning this financial year, the next financial year, some of us will be appropriating monies for staff development so that when you come from my ward and you need to continue with your studies, you can apply for that support so that you can continue with your training. Some of you have done your degree, you need to go for masters, you need to further your studies. Please let us work together so that we can develop a workforce that is requisite with the challenges that we have currently in the world. So we want to thank you, nurses. You are doing a good job. Waziri ameongea kidogo kuhusu what you are going through. But those of us who come from the facilities, we know exactly what you are going through. Wagonjwa wanakuja pale, ni msomo tu, hamuna madawa hapa. Recently tulikuwa na public participation. Na I don't know why my ward administrator alipeleka kwa facility. And katika mjadala ya public participation, somebody said out of nowhere, hii hospitali hata haina madawa. Haina madawa, hakusema hata Panadol, haina madawa, meaning hata Panadol hakuna. The nurse who is working there, alikuwa pale, akasimama akasema, but please, wananchi ningependa kuambia kwamba hii hospitali iko na madawa. So people were curious, wakaingia ndani, wakaona kuna madawa. That person was so embarrassed kwa sababu alisema uongo mbele ya watu wengi sana. And going forward, kutoka sasa kwenda hapo mbele, mutapata maneno kama hiyo mingi sana. Why? Because kuna opponents wa governor, kuna opponents wa MCA, kuna opponents wa CEC. Unajua hata CEC ako na opponents wake. So watajaribu kuleta maneno lakini watapitia wewe. So please stay calm, Please provide the correct information so that our people can have the correct information, and going forward, they will receive the best services. Otherwise, we want to thank God. We are seeing a trend that is positive in our services. There before, watu walikuwa wanatoka kwangu wakienda kule Nandi for services. I'm told even in Moisbridge, Matunda, they were going to Western for services. But now things are changing. In Kaptagat, they were telling us they were going to Elgeyo Marakwet for services. But now it is the opposite. They are now coming to us. It means that we are providing quality services to our people. So thank you so much. Communication is key. Masikia CS ameongea hapa juu ya hiyo issue ambayo tumekuwa nayo, lakini ameeleza vizuri. I'm sure now tutaenda mbele tukifanya kazi mzuri. Otherwise, data is also very important. Please work with the MCS, provide the correct data so that that data will help us to make very important decisions, key decisions for this county. About 2 years ago, I asked one of my facility in charges to carry out a survey on issues of cancer, cervical cancer. Na wakati walipofanya hivyo, we found out that the society that we live in is not very good. Quite a number of the mothers that were screened, there were some very suspicious issues that the facility saw, and I believe it is the same in all the other facilities. So please let us continue screening our people so that we are able to support and give them the necessary, the correct treatment that we so desire. So I want to appreciate everybody and say you're doing a good job. I know that the county government is doing its best to give the correct infrastructure, the right medicines, and to equip your facilities so that you are able to give the quality services. So we want to thank you so much. Everybody, those who are not able to attend this meeting today, please give our best wishes so that all of us work seamlessly in all our facilities. Lastly, we, as an assembly, we are going through some of your proposed legislation and policies, and we want to ask that when we come to you for public participation, please be available, because we need to work together so that we have the best laws, the best policies to guide this county in providing the best services for our residents. So we have about 3 or 4 bills. Waziri has talked about the locum policy that is now within the assembly. We were not able to process it because we were away, but I know from next week we will embark on it. We will invite the department, perhaps some of you, so that we can share and see the best way forward. Public Service Board, we are also inviting you so that we get the correct policy for this county. Otherwise, for those who have acted as cleaners, those who have acted as watchmen for our facilities, thank you so much. That is not degrading you. You wanted the best for that facility. At some point, God will reward you. If Deputy Governor and Governor will not reward you, you will be rewarded in this world, and if not in this world, in the next world. Otherwise, thank you so much. I will not say much. I just want to say, I will just say that may God bless you and the work that you do. We will support you. As the CEC and all of us have said, we will support you from the assembly side. We are going to support you from whatever angle that you need us to support you. Otherwise, Kongwe Missing, may God bless all of us. Betty texted me yesterday, was it yesterday or the day before yesterday, and she particularly said, don't miss. And this morning I had so many programs. The governor called me, he wanted me to go to Band Forest, Tarakwa for some program, and we had this program, but because we had just arrived, I said, let me come to this meeting, lakini mkutano imechukua forever. Next time, please condense kidogo. Isikuwe mrefu sana, because some of us, we have so many programs. Otherwise, may I ask, what? May I ask all of us be upstanding as we invite the Deputy Governor, Honorable Evans Kapkea, to address us. Thank you so much. Karibu.
Thank you so much. Asante, Leader of Majority, kiongozi wetu, Honorable Julius Sang, the CEC and the CS, the CEOs present, the directors, and our CEO Rono, the nurses present, all our partners, and all of us. Good afternoon. Happy International Nurses and Midwives Week. Amaya inajibu. What you respond is nurses hoye. Ndio nimeona hiyo ndio mnajibu hiyo. Asante sana. First, I want to make a very long speech or to talk a lot now that majority leader said that the meeting has taken long because we've made good speeches. Most of you, like Masama and the rest, nimeona CS, hapa, made a very good poems for our nurses. Now, they have given the right description of the kind of work that you are doing to our societies. And I will only subscribe to what they have said and only make the speech by His Excellency the Governor so that we allow also time for the cake, the celebrations that we still have. There's another program for our retirees, so we still have a very long program. And some of us, we still also have some other engagements that we wish to attend. But from what we've said, I've realized that all of us, we very much aware of what the nurses are doing in our families, for the county government of Uasin Gishu, for this Republic of Kenya, for our societies, and we are all happy because of the nurses and the medical fraternity. Me, on behalf of the governor was supposed to grace the occasion, but because we have other activities that we are running, we are commissioning direct projects, one in Ainapkoi, another one in Keses, another one in Moiben, and the governor is on the ground to commission those projects. And I was requested by governor to grace the occasion, so receive the greetings of the governor and also receive the message of Happy International Nurses Day from His Excellency Governor Jonathan B. And you all know that governor loves nurses, governor loves the department, and he has done a lot to make sure that he gives you a conducive environment so that you can carry out your responsibilities and make our people and the residents of Uasin Gishu happy. So I will go through the speech of governor, and I don't want to have mentioned all the protocols. Allow me to read what the speech from His Excellency Governor. Today we gather to honor a noble profession built on sacrifice, compassion, resilience, and service to humanity. International Nurses Week gives us an opportunity to appreciate the men and women who stand at the center of healthcare delivery, our nurses and midwives. They are the comforting voices during the moments of pain, the reassuring presence in times of uncertainty, and the quiet strength behind recovery and healing. Indeed, nurses are the heartbeat of our healthcare system. Across our 138 health facilities in Uasin Gishu County, nurses continue to provide essential services in maternal and child health, emergency care, immunization programs, mental health support, disease prevention, and community health care services. Whether serving in referral hospitals, dispensaries, health centers, schools, or community outreach programs, nurses remain the bridge between the healthcare services and wananchi. Today, on behalf of the people and the county government of Uasin Gishu, I extend our deepest gratitude to every nurse serving in our county and across the nation. Your dedication, professionalism, and commitment continue to strengthen confidence in our healthcare system. Ladies and gentlemen, a strong healthcare system cannot exist without a strong nursing workforce. That is why my administration continues to prioritize investment in healthcare as a key pillar of our development agenda. Currently, we are working to complete major health facilities, including Kass Level 4 Hospital, our diagnostic center in the heart of the city, and facilities in Moiben, Tiret, and Siwa, among others. These investments are creating more space for our hardworking nurses to effectively discharge their duties. In recognition of the critical role played by our nurses in advancing healthcare services delivery, our county currently boasts a workforce of 751 nurses serving across various health facilities. To further strengthen this workforce and enhance efficiency in service delivery, we have in the last 2 years recruited over 100 nurses under both permanent and pensionable terms as well as contractual agreements. This deliberate investment underscores our administration commitment to improving healthcare access, addressing staffing gaps, building a responsible health sector capable of meeting the growing needs of our population. As part of our continued efforts to motivate and support career progression within the nursing fraternity, we promoted 32 nurses last year. And as a listening and caring administration, I wish to assure our healthcare workers that many more will be considered in the coming financial year as we remain committed to fairness, merit, and professional growth of our nurses, healthcare professionals. Our focus now remains on strengthening healthcare infrastructure, recruiting and retaining health workers, improving staff welfare, enhancing professional training, and expanding primary healthcare services across the county. The true strength of any health system lies in the people who serve with passion, with compassion, integrity, and professionalism. To our nurses gathered here today, I encourage that you continue upholding the noble values of your profession. Your work changes lives every day and contributes greatly to the well-being of our society. As we celebrate this important week, let us also inspire young people to embrace nursing as a noble profession that contributes immensely to national development and community well-being. Allow me to conclude with the words of the founder of modern nursing, Florence. Nursing is an art, and if it is to be made an art, it requires a much devotion.
Kama invite yangu haikufika on time, but I'm glad to be here anyway.
She was my rival, my competitor. We need to shut this business down.
Hii biashara ndo kila kitu kwenye hii familia. Nikufe ama nisikufe.
Kama mbaya, mbaya.
We ni mnoma sana.
One truth can break everything.
Sit tight.
Kimitei akobo inye ako kimita sikinetkei kibaibaitkei ak kinoisechigei tuguk cheterter chetesetai eng emetab Kenya ak emotinwek chebo sang. Inyorwech eng DSTV channel 266, Zuku channel 19, GoTV channel 099, Star Times channel 164, Pang eng free to air, Bamba free to air, Azam channel 336 koboto online streaming eng www.kasstv.co.ke.
Kotitinye ng'oliot age tugul kotinygei ak tetutik sirwech sirutiet en oretab email konyo info@kassfm.co.ke anan ko SMS en number 5552 anan ko 30552 ak imwawech kit neichome ak nemechome.
Kass TV, kimnotet naet.
Atachin karachitab kolenjin eng ketesiet noton neichomen nebo Kass TV logoiwekab emet cheisubu en inguni ketaunen en inguni ng'alet noton nebo sirikab logoiwek neindochin CS noton nebo finance John Mbadi akatestai ng'olyo kotinygei ng'alekab finance bill noton nebo kenyit noton nebo 2026.
Until June, honestly, unless it is for some mischief. We are giving you 4 months. You file the returns. Then Kenya Revenue Authority has 2 months to verify the same so that we don't spill over to the following year with the taxes for the previous year. That is what we are trying to cure with this amendment. It is not putting pressure. The problem with us Kenyans is that we wait until the last minute. Then we jam the system with so much filings. No one stops you today even filing your returns in February. You can do it in February, you can do it in March. We are saying do it up to April. After that, then KRA comes in to check and authenticate and verify your filed returns. If you have nil return, really, why are you waiting to June? If you are sure you have nil return, you have not earned anything. In fact, you should do it the first day of the year. Immediately December closes like this, 1st January, file your return if it is nil return. Yeah. But you find now everybody with the nil returns waiting until 30th of June. Then they jam the system with their nil returns. We are saying, please do it early. What is wrong with that? That it becomes a big story? Or we are just trying to look for something, my friends, to make a story out of finance bill. I know we have tried to be very careful in trying to make sure that we don't increase tax rates. So you are trying to check something that would make the bill look bad. But it is good. This one is a perfect bill. We are even clarifying so many good things that were not very clear. Like if you die, God forbid, and you are a pensioner and you die and someone else is supposed to enjoy that pension, in the current arrangement it is not clear whether that person should enjoy the tax exemption. We are clarifying that any pension benefit, even going to a beneficiary, should not attract taxes. So those are the things that we are trying to clarify. Someone made a very wild allegation that we are going to make bottled water expensive. Yet we are doing the opposite. I don't know whether some people read this bill or they create their own. We are removing excise duty on bottled water because bottled water has become, it's no longer luxury. And we are making it cheaper. And we are encouraging that people can get into that business, make bottled water. Then Kenyans should be encouraged to buy bottled water, which is, I believe, is safer for drinking. Then someone says we are now making bottled water more expensive. How do we make it expensive? By removing tax from it. So the bill that is making bottled water expensive is not my bill. It is either your bill or it is a bill created by some other ghost somewhere. Mine is making bottled water cheaper. Any question? Yes.
I think on the taxpayers and the filing, if June was a problem, that's why people are saying maybe it might strain them. But I don't know what KRA is planning to support that early filing. That's what KRA is saying.
But why is it straining if you are filing for income earned up to 31st December the previous year?
It was straining in June, that's why they're saying.
It is straining because everybody waits until June. So we are saying majority should file their returns by April.
Okay. But that's not my question.
Yes.
is on the VAT on digital financial services. How do you think that aligns with maybe global trends? I don't know where you picked this up.
Where is that in my bill?
No, you're talking about the financial service.
The card.
Services, the card. So the tax on it, where did you pick that up? How does it align with global?
You see, my friend, let me just ask you a very simple question. Today you offer professional service to the bank and you are paid. Are you not paying income tax? You are. Then someone who comes up with a card which is going to be used by banks also makes money out of that card. And by the way, they don't make cheap money. They make good money. Someone who crafts a card that you use in the machines or whatever, they make a lot of money. Why shouldn't they not pay tax?
So my question is,
it is everywhere in the world. Is it probably only Kenya where such a service is not?
And Kenyan fintechs do well as startups. That's why I'm saying, what are some of the things that you've done to make sure, even though you're broadening that tax base, it's not like it will hurt them?
I don't think we are hurting anybody. If you are innovative enough and you create such income. And by the way, those who design the cards, are they really small business people? Are they really small business people? Those who create the cards which these financial institutions use, they make money in millions. And why should a mamamboga in the street pay tax and you make millions out of a bank and you don't pay? You know, that is the contradiction that I don't understand. Just because you can get to social media and communicate effectively than the mamamboga, I am here to protect every Kenyan, to broaden the tax base for everybody, including those who cannot get to the social media and be active. I just want to see someone who is not making money and is being taxed. These are people who make huge amounts of money. And they are not paying tax, and yet you, from your mega salary, and my salary, and anybody else's salary, 30,000 to 50,000, we pay tax. Someone makes millions of shillings and goes scot-free just because he's providing financial service. I don't think that's fair. That is not the tax base that we want to have. We want a broader tax base. All of us consume public services. Whether high class or low class, we all consume the same services. We should pay for it. Yes.
Just three questions from me. I begin with pay, and we had the backtracking headline ourselves. And I would just say that there was a wide expectation that
it would be in the
would have been there because, of course, you've spoken about it before. The president mentioned it during Labor Day also, that people can expect that. You've mentioned the simulations you had to do, and I'm curious to know whether those simulations will be done by the time we are done with the finance bill, or perhaps it's a tax laws amendment further down the road. What would be the expectations on that? Then our clarification on VAT Act. This is the parts on excise. There's some exemptions on money transfer services that sort of leaves out digital services from traditional finance that puts transfer services for digital providers under.
Nathan. John Badi. Mutya mising akobo koimutiet noton ka John Badi CS noton nebo Treasury kong'olu kotiengei ng'alek finance bill noton nebo kenyitab 2026. Yekistoengei noton kakomwa serikalitab county nebo Nakuru kole tesetai kokoito mbolea koityi kobotik oret agenge nebo ketes rurutik choton chebo kenyini.
Ololi en komosto nebo Langwenda nemiten wodit nebo Nyota en kot neing'oten ng'atutik nebo Kuresoi North en kasarta nekotoche guniok 600 chebo katoldoleiwek anan mbolea, komwa minista netonondochin kabatisiet en serikalitab county nebo Nakuru Leonard Bor kole agoi nguni kotindo chagoisiek 18 cheboisien koyapta mbolea ole kates komwa kole boisie kora serikali ak kibagengeisiek anan cooperatives koker kole kaikapta katoldoleiwek choton koityi kabatik.
Kwamba
kama county tumeweza kufikishia wakulima fertilizer ndio waweze kuendelea, tukizingatia kwamba hii ni wakati wa upanzi, kwamba tuko na mvua mingi, na ile mambo muhimu ni kuhakikisha kwamba katika hii mpangilio ya serikali ya kuhakikisha kwamba wakulima wamepata ile subsidized fertilizer, kama county tumeweza kufungua zile satellite stores, tukizingatia kwamba katika jimbo la Nakuru tuko na zile NCPP's stores 6. Hiyo ni upande wa Naivasha, upande wa Solai, upande wa Subukia, upande wa Nakuru Town, Elbagon na vile vile upande wa Ulenguruoni. Kama county kupitia wa uongozi wa gavana wetu Her Excellency Governor Susan Kihika, ni kwamba tumeweza kufungua stores. Sasa tumeweza kufikisha 17 katika sehemu mbalimbali kwa zile sub counties 11 ambazo tuko nazo, hii ikiwa mojawapo. Hii ni kuhakikisha kwamba wakulima wasikuwe wanateseka kwenda mbali.
Kaimuch kobor boiboiyet alak en kabatik chekamwa kole bendi konyoru ichek katoldoleiwek en nyumnyumindo en nguni asikoistoengei kaimutik chebo loindo nebendi en kasarta agetugul kocheng'oti katoldoleiwek choton kikon serikali en oliet nekakichuchuch.
Ikiwa hapa karibu na wakulima watakuwa wamepunguziwa ile karama ambao wangeiendea pale mbali na watafikia kwa njia nzuri, itakuwa most accessible kwao.
Hata ukiangalia katika sehemu hii ama katika upanzi wa mwaka huu, wakulima wachapata nafasi ya kuumia kwa kutembea, kupika foleni kubwa sehemu hizo ambazo nimesema, na nataka kuhimiza kwamba hasa baada ya kuletewa mbolea upanzi, pia naimiza uongozi mzima wa agriculture katika Nakuru ya kwamba watuletea pia top dressing ili wakulima wakafanya hiyo kazi, na hakika tutapata mazao.
Kongeten county nebo Nakuru, logoiwekab emet chebo Kass, kainenyun ko Sylvester Rono.
Yekiistoenge noton koimuch konde siyet en betutab raini President Dr. William Samoei Ruto taxisiek anan billisiek somok choton cheboto income tax bill ak nebo special economic zones amendment bill ak nebo technopolis bill en gotab boror noton nebo Nairobi. Ibeljingei bill noton anan ng'atutiet lachen komuch konde emetab Kenya oret nekomie kot missing en ng'alekab konorwet noton nebo mornotet noton nebo emet. Tax anan income tax act noton kobelie much kobit bandaptai en emet neboto chepkondok choton chekinyoru ak imuch keboisien en oret nemuch konyorunen keljin biikab emoni. Koikoito kurset koityi meng'ik chebo Nandi komuch komongei ak kosirgei icheket asikomuch koik birikab kura. Kosibkei ak Prime Cabinet Secretary Musalia Mudavadi komwa kole tokomiten mbar koitet nebo meng'ik chebo county nebo Nandi tom komongei icheket ak kosirgei asikomuch kobir kura en lewenisiet nenyone.
Kamwa Musalia kole takomiten ng'uny kaitet nebo meng'ikab county nebo Nandi chekokosirgei koik birikab kura.
Kwa registration iliyopita, kusema ukweli, Nandi only registered in the last round 52.6. That is not good. Wale ambao wana identity cards katika county hii na kwengine, if you are listening to me about the size of the victory, we cannot afford to have that kind of registration. The next round is coming. Nataka niwasihi tujitokeze, we urge each other, hata sisi kule tutasukuma zaidi. We want proper registration, we want massive registration, we want the proper victory.
Tinye ne kanet kole wendi President William Ruto kobelishe eng lewenisiet neo nenyone.
Round ya kwanza ya Mheshimiwa Ruto kushinda, tukawa na petition. So we must break that cycle, tuhakikishe kwamba this time we shall not have a presidential petition.
Karupten ito Senator nebo county nebo Nandi Samson Cherargei nekamwa ine kole nyolu eng meng'ikab county nebo Nandi kokochi tiet nemite barak President William Ruto mising eng lewenisiet neo nenyone.
Hii kura ya 2027 nasitaki watu waongee mambo mingi. How can you preach to the converted? Hapa county ya Nandi tunapea rais 2 term. So wezi uhubiria wale wameokoka. Tunatafuta wale hawajaokoka, ama mnasemaje watu wa Nandi? Rais anahitaji kuja kuomba kura kweli hapa? Si tunampatia na tutashinda by 2 to 3 million votes asubuhi na mapema.
Kosubkei ak MP nebo Mkwen Joseph Mengit konyolu eng meng'ikab county nebo Nandi koite kamanutiet neo kurset nebo kotil ichek kura koboto kibandok.
So nataka ni wasii watu wetu, hii defense ama maneno ya kuongoza nchi inataka maneno ya kura kama cheti cha kutufikisha tuvuke. So na kwa hivyo tunapongeza pia rais kwa sababu ametupa hiyo sehemu ya kwamba kama kiongozi sisi kama viongozi wa Rift Valley tunamunga mkono.
Karupten ito MP nebo Tinderet Julius Meli nekacherine meng'ikab county nebo Nandi kokochi tiet nemite barak President William Ruto.
Nataka tu niwaombe sisi kama viongozi wa county hii tushikilie rais, tushikilie kwa masomo, tushikilie kwa kilimo, tushikilie kwa infrastructure. Na ya mwisho tushikilie kwa kura 2027 na tuwe namba 1.
Kang'alaldos ichek eng igorta agenge nebo sautik eng taonitab Kapsabet ole kamite kandoik alake chekaboto cabinet secretary Kipchumba Murkomen ak Farouk Kibet chekaboibochi ichek nekamwa ichek kole kokwo ng'weny mung'aretab mayek eng county nebo Nandi.
For a job well done. Pombe haramu imepungua kwa Nandi by 90%. That is the commitment of our chiefs and the assistant chiefs and the county administration pamoja na security yetu. Ile challenge bado tuko nayo hapa tu kidogo, Your Excellency, ni porous border. Hii border yetu na jirani, nchi jirani bado inaleta ile pombe cheap na haramu ambayo bado inatusumbua hapa, lakini our multi-agency team is working on closing those borders.
Kong'eteke county nebo Nandi logoiwekab emet yebo Kass. Kainenyu ko Nelson Tarupei.
Kochoton chitab Kolenjin ko logoiwekab emet yaitun eng ketesiet nebo Kass TV nekasomanun kwane Shadrack Mutai.